Hey, it's H here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Nasdaq. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Wave Theory and provide multiple scenarios the price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting here on 1 hour time frame and looking at the structures starting from around the 13.7k highs around the 16th of August. Since then we have a few different options here. Let's go through them fast. In this one we would have A, B, C into W. This C wave again is not perfect. We would have to say that we have this as a possible wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, or actually that is not the case, and that's why I have it labeled like this, because again 3 can't be the shortest. So let's see, how did I have it? 1, 2, no, that was 1, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there we go. And then ABC into X, and then ABC into W, X, Y, X, Z. Now, I don't really like to be using W, X, Y, X, Z because they are really rare in that, in any scenario, in my opinion. And people are using them to force their bias into the count more often than not. So in this one, I feel like I am forcing my bias on here, trying to end the count down here and trying to get a possibility for a bullish move off of the lows. This here is for sure a 5-way structure in my opinion. There's no denying that. This 5-way structure has that divergence at the lows, or sorry, at the end, and with this count we could be saying that this would be a wave 1 looking for a wave 2 pullback and then going higher. This is the current most bullish count that we have on Nasdaq. The other ones, not so much. Other ones are expecting these lows to be taken out. Now, then we have the WXYXZ on higher time frame. Now, again, why I don't really prefer these are just because they are rare in itself, and I've now shown you two of these counts in one video, and I don't think I've ever seen or ever shown a WXYZ count before at all. So yeah, I guess they're not that likely to me. ABC into W, ABC into X, very similar to these Y lows, but in this case we would have that ABC that we were talking about on S&P 500. Sure, this structure over here would be a 3-way structure, 3 ways, and very small 3-way structure in here, creating a WXY in it, and the wave Y here would be very small in comparison to the previous structures, so it doesn't have a really good proportion. But this is again the only way I can be fitting a structure in here of an expanded flat. If we are zooming in a bit, we can see that the 1.618 is right here, 10.8k. And if we were to put the wave Y at these previous highs, previous lows, we can see that the price here for the possible B wave goes well beyond the 1.618, and that is the sole reason why we have it here. We have to kind of force this count to be working in order for this structure to be working at all. So yeah, that has to be kept in mind, that it is kind of not that best looking, but we could be having this as that expanded flat for that X wave, similar what we had here on the S&P 500 that I've been covering before as well, more closely and daily. We'll look into this more local structure in just a bit, but before that, of course, we have to have some kind of impulse wave structure in here. And for this one, we would have to be saying that, okay, we have a structure in which we have this as a 1, 2, and we can't really have this as a 1, 2, wave A, B, C into wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because again, this is a third wave. Third waves can never have diagonals. So in this way, we would have to force a 1, 2 here, 3, 4, and ending 5. And it would be invisible here, at least on 1 hour. There is, of course, substructures that can be visible on smaller time frames, but we're not going to go into that at the moment. Again, have the same issue here with that 3-way structure getting very extended. And then again, the very same issue that we had right here for the invisible wave 1, 2s, we would have to have it here as well for this wave 1. Then 3-way pullback, and again, we would have the same exact issue here for that 5-way structure into that 3rd, 4th, and 5th. 5th definitely feels and looks like a 3-way structure, and I feel like we have to be again having some kind of 5-way structure forced into this if we want to have this as either ABC or a 1, 2, 3. Now, why do I not prefer the 1, 2, 3? Is just because, again, the extension here does not even get anywhere close to the 1.618, and we are not gaining on any kind of momentum. Now, why don't I like the idea of having this as a 1-2 scenario? It's just because, again, we go beyond the 1-to-1 extension. Generally, when these would be a 1-to-1, 1-2-1-2 setup, so basically nested patterns here, this second structure, as it is smaller degree than the previous one, it should be smaller in price as well. But this is not. This is larger in price, which would fit into the idea of being a C wave. There's the reasons and why I don't like it. But of course, it is still possible. Nothing has been invalidated yet. The wave 4 would have to be really forced in here, in my opinion. I just can't. I don't really like this being a three-way structure. It doesn't get into any of the my ways of having the extensions on fibs. So yeah, it is so bad looking. This definitely for me looks like a 5-way structure. And for this, again, if we had the C wave here, this could be a start of something new, AB and then higher. Now, regardless of what the higher time frame structure is and is going to be, I'm playing these smaller time frames, more local structures, and this is what we got here. Now, we had that possibility on S&P 500 where we were expecting this to be a possible ABC. Now, it was part of one of the counts here as well, which made it possible. Now, if we are looking at the angle that we have here for this possible C wave, again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have 50 degrees. And if we are comparing this to the current structure that we have coming down as a leading diagonal into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into 1, 3-way pullback, 2, and then 3, we can see that this current structure is way more impulsive to the downside than this structure over here. So this is one way we can be comparing even impulse waves together or against each other. So it is at the moment looking like it is stronger to the downside, but however, again, this might be just the end of 3-wave or 3rd wave. And if we are comparing that to the exact structure over here, that we can see that this is actually way more angled than the current structure we have here, as it is not finished yet in here. But there's just something that to keep in mind that could happen. Now, on S&P 500, we did not reach the 1.618 like we did here on Nasdaq and many other indices or US indices. So this is very much likely that this is indeed a 5-way structure coming down for something. And then we could be looking for some kind of pullback and then continuation to the downside. And regardless, or depending on what your higher time frame view is, I do think that we might be getting way lower than here. Again, if we are looking at some of the other counts that we had, for example, the WXY, XZ, this would be most likely the A wave of this last leg, then looking for that B wave and then C wave to end the X wave. And depending on how large this 5th wave gets, because again, 3rd wave was not extended, we could even get down here already around 10.6k. But yeah, of course, then we would get that retracement, most likely at least, a good looking retracement, hopefully a 3-way structure, a clear one, and then we could be getting another short position and then more downwards. But we'll see, of course, how that turns out, and nothing is really concrete here. But the one thing I do like is that how much this extended here on Nasdaq, giving us more confidence that this indeed was a 5-way structure. Again, we can't confirm that until we are going to get the 5th wave and 4th wave done here. At the moment, it still has the potential of being an ABC, where the C wave is just a bit longer than usual. So that has to be kept in mind as well. But I feel like that is pretty much everything I wanted to cover on Nasdaq. If you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.